Thank you guys so much for watching my interviews here at the Republican rally on the river. With me in this interview is Tim Temple, who's running for Commissioner of Insurance, right?
That's right.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Glad to be here today. It's a great crowd today.
Well, I got to hear you, do your interview, do your talk there a little bit. You're really passionate about being the Commissioner of Insurance, aren't you?
Well, I grew up in this industry, like you heard. I was over 20 years and wore a lot of different hats. Insurance is good when it works, and you're right. I am passionate about it because the other thing we always have to understand, you got to have it. You got to have it to drive a car. You got to have it to own an mortgage. You got to have it to operate your business. And so I'm passionate about it because I know how important it is, and I know how important it is that people be able to afford insurance.
Exactly. Well, my homeowner's insurance went up $400 a month. I'm sorry, it made my house note go up $400 a month just because of the increase in homeowner's insurance. Can you do something about that?
Yeah, that's what, $5,200 a year?
Right.
I mean, that's big money. That's
exactly.
As they say, that's real money. I mean, and what happens is a lot of families, when that happens, they got to figure out, do they buy less groceries? Do they buy less medicine? Do they buy less food? Because you got to have that insurance. And if you got a mortgage on your home, you got to carry it.
Exactly.
It's not optional, right?
Exactly right.
And you don't want it to be optional either. Even if you didn't have to have it, you want that financial protection.
Right.
So yeah, I truly, deeply believe that as commissioner, I can work with the industry, I can work with the other stakeholders to bring competition back. And let me tell you, we talk about competition and wanting competition, and I say this all the time. Insurance companies don't have to do business in the state of Louisiana. There's no law that compels them to do it.
That's right.
Citizens and LWCC, that's the only two that have to, right? Workers' comp and homeowners.
That's right.
So we have to understand, we want companies to come in. We have to create an atmosphere to keep companies in and not drive them away. And let me tell you, people don't think companies will leave. Look at what's going on in California right now. Companies, the biggest insurance companies, are leaving California because of the regulatory environment. It's already bad enough in Louisiana right now. We don't want that to happen anymore.
And what's also interesting is I spent a lot of time in the Louisiana legislature and watching all the different representatives and senators come up with their own bills to be able to do things to help lower insurance rates. And they're very active because they're passionate about it. So will you work with them, because I know that a lot of the commissioners do, will you work with them to help them craft legislation that also helps lower our rates?
Look, I'm not only going to work with them, I'm going to ask them to help me come up with some of those ideas. And look, I certainly have some, but you have to have, passionate, conservative, and not just conservative, but House and Senate members that understand the pains that their constituents. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Expensive insurance is expensive.
Exactly right.
If it's unaffordable, it doesn't matter what you are. But no, I truly feel we're going to have a new governor. We're going to have a new attorney general. We're going to have a new. Look at all the statewide offices, right? We're going to have a new commissioner of insurance. And we're going to have about 30 new House members, a few more Senate members. I'm looking forward to working with all those new and men and women coming back too, to work with them. And look, they come from all walks of life. You got 105 House members, you got 39 senators. There's not many of them that have insurance background, and that's okay. They need to have a commissioner of insurance that understands the industry, and I do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work with them. We're going to come up with some good solutions to the problems that we've got, which you can't legislate it, you can't mandate insurance rates. What you can do is bring companies in. That's competition.
Create an environment that helps everybody lower the rates.
We're going to make Louisiana an insurance renaissance. We want companies, we're going to get companies coming back, and when they come back, they're going to compete for your business.
I like the
when they compete, that's when you get lower rates.
I like the word renaissance.
Renaissance.
The other word I like a whole lot is freedom. I'm always talking about freedom on my show. So my question for you is, Commissioner of Insurance, that affects financial freedom. And so that's what I'm hearing.
Well, let me tell you, and here's another thing about freedom. It's an organization called R Street Report. It's a Washington, D.C. based think tank, and they assign letter grades to all types of business industries all around the country. And for insurance, they rate every state. Louisiana, they've been doing it for 13 years, I believe. Louisiana has had a D. The first year we came out of the gate, we had a D minus, then a C minus, then 4 years of D, then 4 years of F. And then they skipped a year because of COVID. And then we had a D minus as our most recent grade. And what those letter grades mean, it's a regulatory rating, meaning the ease of business, the ease of a company to come in to do business, the ease of you to get your policy. We get an F. We get Ds. That's not free market.
So that's your focus, is getting that up to at least a C or a B, maybe.
Look, I want an A, but look, let me tell you. And look, you hear me say it, I want companies to come back to Louisiana, but also you got to hold them accountable, right? You can't let them come in, charge premium, and then when they have a hurricane, leave the state. So that's also part of the job. You gotta make sure you got competition, but when they come here and if they take your premium, I'm going to make sure that they pay your claim.
I love it. Any words of encouragement for the people that things are going to be looking better?
No, I'm Tim Temple. I'm running for this office because I grew up in this industry, and I want it to work. I want you to have financial freedom. I want you to keep more of your money in your pocket and not go to the insurance companies.
Tim Temple, thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Everybody else, we got a few more interviews. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.